What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns asking the age-old question, what if Grand Theft Auto 5 looked more like the original Grand Theft Auto? I bring you, with the miracle of Rockstar editor, Tank Down! Tank Top Down. Yeah, that's the name of the title. Why do I call it Tank Top Down? Because this is what the original Grand Theft Auto looked like back in 1997 when it was released on PC and the original PlayStation by DMA Design, which later on became Rockstar North. And this is where it all started. Well, not this game. Obviously, it's Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. But this is kind of sort of how it looked back in the day. Well, it's the best facsimile I could come up with. And on a Misadventure Monday. Just an idea I had a while back. I couldn't find the original Grand Theft Auto game anywhere, so we're just going to go with this, right? So, obviously, graphically, it probably looks way better than the original Grand Theft Auto does, even though it's also top-down here. It does graphically look way better, even though it's top-down, as I mentioned. But, yeah, the original Grand Theft Auto was not a very popular game. In fact, a lot of people called for it to be banned because it was so violent. But me and several of my friends back in high school, I was 16 back then in 1997, a wee lad. On Friday nights, this is what we would do for fun. I don't know what you do for fun. I don't want to know, to be honest. But what we would do is we would get together and we would just take turns carrying out as much mayhem as possible on the original PlayStation playing Grand Theft Auto. That's what we would do. We would see how much destruction we could cause, how long we could last before we got killed, and then we would pass the controller on to someone else. So it was kind of a contest, I guess. And this thing went on for hours and hours, and before you know it, it was like 5 a.m. and we were all like dead tired from laughing and cackling, carrying on. This was also like at the dawn of the internet, you know, when dial-up was just coming out. And I lived in a very small, not a completely small town in East Texas, about 20,000, the population. I know there's smaller towns, I get that. But back then, I didn't have dial-up. I didn't have any internet. You know, this is all we had. So, yeah, I absolutely love that game. And shortly before Grand Theft Auto came out, 1996 was the Nintendo N64, featuring some of the most legendary 3D games to date, like Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time. I loved both of those games when I was a kid. And it really brought 3D gaming to the home. Before then, a lot of it was in arcades, but now you could actually have a console that was reasonably priced, not too expensive, that played really, really good 3D games. And while we were, playing the original Grand Theft Auto game on the PlayStation Friday nights, we imagined what a 3D Grand Theft Auto game might look like. And surprisingly, 4 years later, in 2001, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out. And, oh man, everything else changed after that in 2001 when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out. It was epic. On, the PlayStation 2, then it later on came out on the original Xbox, and then, of course, Vice City, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, and, of course, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Grand Theft Auto Online. And I guess the best comparison, if you want to play a game similar to the original Grand Theft Auto, would probably be the mobile game Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. And, yeah, so much for nostalgia, right? Fake explosion!